Okay, so is the Earth going around the sun a wave or not? Interesting question. So the Earth, if you were like on top, here you could say this was the sun, and here was the Earth. It was just going around like that.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of moving in a wave. It's not.
It's moving in a periodic pattern, that's for sure.
It is moving in a periodic pattern, but
Well, it's kind of waving a little because if it wasn't waving, they would be in the exact same spots. They'd be in the exact same spots.
well, it is pretty close. Don't confuse my bad drawing with the Earth doesn't wobble around that much.
Not in that much.
Otherwise,
We would probably get
it might be hard to
frozen.
live on the Earth if you were wobbling around. Like 1 second you're here, the next second you're over here. It'd be like living on a constant, like horrible, horrendous earthquake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we don't see that up and down, up and down, up and down, and then and in particular, like the sine and cosine graphs I drew went on forever.
Earth goes in a loop.
Yeah, this seems to be going in a loop. I wonder what the connection is. So well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend this is. First of all, I'm going to pretend this is symmetric, and I actually drew it.
Yep.
Drew it reasonably well.
It isn't in a perfect circle, though.
Well, right. The Earth itself doesn't go in a perfect circle; it goes in an ellipse. But we're going to pretend it goes in a perfect circle.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to call this the x-axis,
And then the y-axis.
and this would be the y-axis, and we don't see the wave, right?
Yeah.
But what we do, what I am going to look at is what the Earth, sort of the shadow on the x-axis, and I can pretend this was 1, and I can pretend this was -1, and you can see it's at 1, and then it's getting a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less.
Until it gets to
It
there.
gets to 0, then it goes to -1, then it goes back, then it goes back,
So it's
and it goes back.
Kind of. If you
sort of
think
like
about
the
it this-
pattern. It doesn't get bigger or smaller than that.
Yeah. See that? How it's just going back and forth as the Earth goes around the sun?
Yeah. If you think about it that way, it's kind of moving in a straight line, but we wouldn't move.
It's the shadow that's moving.
Yeah, that shadow's moving in a straight line, and then if I went to graph that shadow, so I would call this, the x-axis would be, in this case, would be going up.
Yep.
Okay? Now hold on 1 second. So it goes, the shadow's biggest amount is 1, and the smallest amount is -1. But if I'm going to graph it, what is this axis going to be? Like, what variable is describing what's the change?
The time
The
axis?
time axis. So here we have a graph where the dimension isn't a unit of measurement,
It's a unit of time.
it's a unit of time. Time can be a dimension.
Hmm.
Whoa, did you know that?
No.
No.
So we could say it starts up here at 1,
And then.
it slowly goes to 0, then it goes to -1, then it starts coming back. Up, then it gets up to 1 again, then it goes down and around and around.
So it does kind of move in a wave.
Look at that! There's the wave.
Wow.
You had to think of time as a dimension, and then when you looked at the shadow on the x-axis,
And then you can.
then you
find
see the wave.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew you were riding a wave? Here, surf the Earth right now.
Ah! Whoa.
All right. All right. That's cool. That's cool. That was a good question. I'm glad we got to talk about that. That was fun. All right. Now to celebrate our movie from yesterday, what should we go do?
Let's eat waffles.
Let's go eat waffles.